There we go. A brief note. I'm not sure. The water. We're flooding here, and the water's about 2 feet. You know, 2 vertical feet away from. So it's a distance, but it's you know, because of the weather is unstable now, so you can't say, well, it never goes that high. Yeah, well, maybe this time it will. Anyway, I just want to check in and continue on. Things keep changing. On a for moi, up and down. Oh God, had some pretty rough times recently. Um, you do things that you think, oh, that's good. I'm safe. I'm good. But no, we weren't. So I'm hurting a little bit, but I have high hopes that by September, 7 months from now, I'll be back into something, a little bit more decent. you know, well, I had a good long run. Anywho, um, gosh, I don't know. Who am I talking to? Is there anybody there? I mean, why do I say, I mean, that sounds pretty pompous, doesn't it? But, people, I mean, you have to have some good soil. You have to be able to kind of, hear what I'm saying and catch the tones and, take a look at what you're looking at here and see, is there something of substance here? And if you can't do it, why, you've already gone on to the next rock and roll, whatever game you're playing or something to waste your time. So I don't know, I'm just going to talk and hopefully at some point there'll be someone, you know, who for whom this will have a positive value, or what I'm saying on these videos. Okay, so here goes. Why are we here? Well, people who have successfully passed the course here and who have come back and been pretty convincing about, the evidence of their stated condition, what they see and what we see, the truth of what they see and the understanding that they have. It's pretty compelling. I would say a reasonable person would say, yeah, wow, look at that person. They say they're ordinary, but there's nothing really that ordinary. I mean, they drink coffee, they smoke cigarettes, they wear suits and sweaters and things, but they're not ordinary. They're in a different place. That different place is where we all want to go. We want to go. I mean, you may not, of course. Well, I'm happy here where I am. Well, good for you. Try. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. A human being is not going to be happy here. This is, maybe for brief periods, your heart's happy, you're happy, right? Your mind is excited, you're excited. But this all gets pretty old after a while. You're looking around, you're going like, what? Well, okay, so why you're here is, I've been told, and I've experienced to some degree everything that I've experienced in over 50 years of being connected up with the power of God and being taught and cleaned up and everything else. I've never experienced anything which contradicts what I'm about to say, and in many cases has affirmed it, or in a lot of cases has affirmed it. So it looks good to me. Because myself, I can only tell you from my experience that it appears that we're here we're learning things, definitely, and we're learning how to conduct ourselves as human beings, and we're learning what our capacities are and what our capacity for error is. And we are, gradually learning something more, I would dare say, about, the things that the Almighty will do and not do to us, and the one who created us. Give it up. You were created, and you can carry on and on about the little bugs and how your mother and father and everything else, but it's just, give it up. Okay, so why did we come here? Well, we live in a different place. This is what I've heard, and as I say, I've experienced some of these places very, very small ways. I'm really kind of, even though I've been doing this for over 50 years, I'm still kind of they pulled me out of some kind of a place quite a while back. I'm not I'm not the high being person. I made a lot of mistakes, and I made one the other day, a few months ago. Oh God, it cost me dearly. It's still costing me. It's going to cost me, as I say, for a few more months. But anyway, you come from, if you're human, if you have a human thing in you, I don't really, words, take a notion about what does it mean. These things with some kind of human eyes have some sort of human aspect to you. Then at some point, or whatever, you belong in a different world. Your home is not here in the material, in this world, material physical world. It's in another place, another dimension. The fifth dimension, I suppose. Anyway, so the story is that you're sent here by the Almighty, that God created you to test Himself. Why? Okay, here's some answers. The Almighty created Himself, created you to test Himself. And with some reflection, you can understand, well, yeah, I can see that there's a possibility there. Makes sense. We dwelled originally in a nice place. Everybody says, if you're in good shape. I mean, they say it's way much more fun than this place. It's different, no body. I've experienced that a little bit, flying along in some other realm, and it's nice, no worries, no body. There you are, kicking along. What's next, and having a pretty, feeling pretty good, and what do you want? So feeling pretty good, and I'm sure there's probably quite a bit more to it. Heard this, get even better, but that was good. I like that. So, the Almighty told us, as we were one being, said, when you go to the earth, and that's what I heard. Go to the earth, and you're not going to like it there, but I want you to go there. You're going to be there for 63 years, and you're gonna so you can become greater, whatever that means, because the story is that only the Almighty is great. So how can you become greater? I don't know. But you can become maybe more. You can develop. Not just be, kind of an insensate creature, or somebody who's deluded by a bunch of ideas that, you may sincerely feel, or something that this is how the truth is. Well, find out more about the truth here. So you come here, you go through things. When you get here, you have the body, but the things that you could do before on the other side, you can't do here. Over there, no effort is required. You want to know something, bingo, there it is. to go somewhere, I guess, bingo, there you go. And you're pretty free and easy over there, I gather, or at least in some I haven't spent that much time over there. Kind of like talk about being a tourist. So you come here, you get your body. Well, this place is a place. It is the home for something. What it's the home for is the material beings. There are beings on every level, and there are material beings. And the human vessel that you come in, so that you can do all the things you need to do here, is really quite something. It's like a fancy car, It's not, but I mean, it's kind of like that. There's all kind of little gadgets and things. Well, it turns out that those beings here, they like to play with that thing. It's like a toy to them, or it's like a vast house or something. They want to get in there, and sure enough, they can, because unless when you continue your line, when you conjugate, um, you you have to be guided and directed by the one Almighty God. Now, originally, people were, and for a long time, I understand, not just overnight, but for many generations, several generations at least, quite a few. But the pressure of this place and the anxiety that it creates in a sensitive being is pretty strong, and so people kind of blew it. They all might, and basically, if you use your common sense, you can think what happened was they were connected up with the Almighty, and they were being guided as to what to do. Now, not being guided by, don't imagine things being guided. Oh, no, I want you to go over there. No, I want you to eat. No, I want you to sit. Oh, don't do that. No, that's ridiculous. That's not how guidance works. God is more subtle than anything else, so He's subtle enough. You ever kind of like run a number? Like you're kind of doing something with your kids. They're not aware. In their soul, I'm sure they are, but in their actual day-to-day consciousness, um, they're not particularly bothered or aware by the fact that you're trying to get them to learn how to swim, and it's important, so you're kind of edging them in that direction, you know. And so much more so the Almighty. The Almighty guides you around and leads you around and teaches you things. You're not burdened by it. It's not a burden. It's a freedom, because every time He kind of moves in and says, go over, that's reality for you. This world isn't. It's full of nothing. I mean, for you, as a human being, or a part of a human being or something, a remnant of a human being, it's nothing. In the end, there is nothing here. Nothing for you. Except lower forms of life, which, God help you. I mean, you can work and work and work and try to become an animal, and you know, but it's not like being a human being. As if you've lived here for a few decades, why you can see that pretty clearly. There's something that the animal doesn't have. They have lots of things, don't they? And they're lively, and they're alive, and they run and they jump, and they're loving. They can be very loving or very, very savage. But they're not. They're not human. Um, so. But once the Almighty kind of guided them to do something, they ignored it. It doesn't matter what it was they ignored. They ignored it, or they forgot. They didn't quite catch it because they were too anxious, or they thought too much of it. I don't know. I wasn't there. I mean, I wasn't outwardly there, and no direct, I have no picture story about it. Why they, got off into self-reliance. I mean, being reliant on what they've brought in with them. They got cut off from the supplier, the living God. and they got more. Well, they had to relied on their brain. You know, I mean, I'm connected. It's me telling you, I've connected the dots, and that's what I see. I mean, there's your heart, and your passions, and your imagination, and your perceptions, and there's all kinds of things. But in the end, I think it's pretty clear at this point. 50,000 years later, and I've heard something like that. Probably 50 some odd thousand years ago, since we started out in this group, in this generation of man, which is the fifth time this has happened, I've heard. Is it? Yeah, the fifth time. So, and possibly the last. I mean, you keep doing something over and over again, then you do something else. And as we don't know how the Almighty, you can't understand God. I mean, it's not an anxiety-provoking thing because of the way He arranges it. You don't need to understand. You're a table. You don't have a strong need to feel or understand the creature that made you. You're happy being a table, I suppose, so forth and so on. So we're happy enough. We like to find out things, and we like to know stuff, but, I mean, we don't need, understanding that you can understand God is probably good enough for us. Experience things, God can show you things, God can give you all kinds of understanding, but in the end, does the child really understand his father? Well, he thinks he does at times, but does he? Does that kind of thing. Anyhow, so we're here getting more and more lost, and so it turns out that, the satanic beings here, they have a way of living. They just blip, 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 very fast. They don't contemplate, they don't try to understand much of things, because they're on a path where they have no choice, and this is their world, and you're like a visitor here. And if you don't conform to their laws and their rules, well, they'll put you in prison or get rid of you. But far worse, perhaps you might say, or another thing they do is they possess you. As it turns out, because it's a funny little irony that or thing that happens the way the Almighty has arranged things, is that in the material objects in the material world, there's a resonance between you. You don't feel separated from it. You can't quite get there. I mean, you can't become one with things, very much, but you can certainly observe them, and you can feel like I'm gonna do something with that old dead tree. I think I can cut it up. I can make myself something that will shelter me from the rain, or something. Or I can make a bet. I can make something. I want to make something. I want to do. Human beings like to do things, to be free, do whatever they want. Which, see, then you go beyond the pale because you don't want to do everything that you want. Because some things you want are harmful to yourself, or harmful to your soul, or harmful to other people. We all learn this. So the trick is to be connected up with the Almighty, follow the guidance, learn a bunch of stuff here, but you stay on the main boat. Stay on the main ship. Sure, you might take a little excursion, but just come back to the main boat, and you never sever your connection with it so that you get lost. Well, can't say very well that that's, So anyway, so the brain, it turns out, is this thing that, is an incredible bunch of stuff, and it processes and collects data and correlates and brings up things that are similar and so forth and so on, or appropriate, or whatever it does. It's like a big computer or something. It's kind of insensate, really. It doesn't have, it has some kind of life, I guess. I'm not going to get, but you know what I mean. It's a tool. Well, man has gotten more and more reliant on it. And then inevitably he takes on the characteristics of the tool that he's relying on. He, without noticing it. And the same thing with material objects. Those objects, there's a connection between, there's a material force that connects. So you can feel it in your mind, your brain. Oh, let's see, I can do that with that and that. You can work with it. But, if you're not careful, it gets in. Well, that's where the guidance of God comes in. You stop at a certain point. This tree you can work with over here. Not that tree. That tree has got some shit in it, some forces, some life, that is going to be too much for you, and it'll possess you, or it will overwhelm you, and you'll work on that tree, and then you'll get sick, and then you'll if you're not lucky, you'll take on the characteristics of the tree. The tree will like possess you. Well, I don't think we should go over there today. Let's stay here. Take on the aspect, the way of the tree. And that's no good. Or the way of the animal. Oh, I'm going over there. I'm going to show those people something. See, that's an animal kind of an idea. Or even your regular human, of course, as well. I think it's important for us to do this and do that. That's important. What do you know what's important? God knows. He created the whole thing, the whole matrix, if you want to go there. And the more you can see about it, you can be shown. I can see off and on. I mean, this place is such a bunch of tangle of stuff and things. There's no way that you can go out there on your own and not get lost in it, or get serious trouble. You have to have the guidance of God. Well, man, he's gotten into different things that he doesn't understand that anymore, or whatever he does, he's lost and found, but except for the found part. And so anyway, there's a new gift on the earth to connect you back up again, restore you, and you got to take it up. If you don't take it up, this could be the last time, and I think you've got about 10,000 years for man to take. I don't know. I don't want to speak out of turn, but anyway, it's crucial. I can connect you up to that gift, and you can get started. And it's real easy. It takes half an hour twice a week. Just let go, and the power of God works on you. Let it work. It's like letting the mechanic work. I'll give you the car. I'll relinquish the car. You take the car, and I'll be back in half an hour. You come back. It's better now. You don't ask any questions. It's over your head. What has he done? You don't need to be all involved in what he's doing to your car, but he's fixing it. And I can certainly say that's true. I've seen it happen to me in many, many regards, and I've also seen myself mess things up. It took years to get just because I was, ignorant or not paying attention enough. It's not generally too hard to stay on the right track, but there are tests and challenges, and that's part of the deal. So it's easy, but it's also difficult. That's the nature of quite of some things, as you know. There's a hard part, which we like the hard. We're made to. Anyway, so that gift is available. If you don't take it up, there's a rumor. There's a possibility one of the messengers, one of the real people from the other side. Because in that world it's more real, it's quicker too, it's faster, and so they always know what you're going to do, and they're on to you, and and as they say, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. Well, there's a lot of truth to that remark, and guess what? We almost all act as fools in some cases. Anyhow, you have a chance. It's a real chance, a real opportunity, and possibly one of the. I think nothing. It's just going to go on and on. You have chances on and on and on. Does life work like that? You think? So there's an opportunity. If you have ears to hear it, listen, take it. Tap an hour twice a week. Let the Almighty work on you. Restores your health gradually. It's all gradual. It's a lot of stuff. You're going to give me something. I mean, me. I couldn't do anything with it, but I mean, the Almighty's a master mechanic, so He can take. You've been here, the body that you're in, 50,000 years of stuff. What has to be done? Well, He knows the order of it. The general order of it we've experienced is generally you gradually get healthier. Gradually instructs you, shows you through experience, that this kind of behavior that you do, see the result of it. You've heard the story, people talk about stuff like this who aren't aware that, of what, but I mean, they have experiences as God. There's lots of different ways, I guess. I don't know, but I mean, it seems to be that I've heard that, God connects up with people. But like there are stories like Betty Eadie or whatever, however you pronounce her last name, Eadie, Betty Eadie. I'm not sure. Anyway, she wrote that book, Something Toward the Light. I forget. Bestseller. She's saying, well, it shows you how you do something that's not cool. It causes all kinds of things, ripples out. And if you do something that's cool, it ripples out. So the Almighty shows you how to do things that don't harm this other creature, because, He loves, apparently, it makes sense. He loves all His creatures. You make a bunch of things, you love them all. Some of them maybe this and that. You aren't just in this one right now or whatever, but you love them all and you look after them. Particularly the more decent you are, the more you take care of your stuff you made, and particularly your children. If you're a human type person, still have some remnant of that. So anyway, gosh, I don't want to go over half an hour, and I know most of you have already left the site. But, I'm going to tell you again, this is your chance. Take it. It's easy. Go right on about your own life. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to say, I believe that so-and-so. You don't have to have somebody tell you, okay, what do you believe? Admit that there's no man involved in this. It's all done between you and the power of God working in you. Just let go, and you allow. When you let go, you don't interfere with it. You just, whatever the mechanic wants, whatever if he makes you fall on your face, or he makes you, brings out stuff in you, and you moan, you groan, you sing, or whatever you might do that's in your being that he brings out and moves you to do. Whatever you're moved to do, you do that for half an hour. You don't interfere. You don't keep trying to do it more. Don't try to do it more than it goes. If you don't interfere, it'll stop, and then you'll kind of come back to where you were before in your regular place. You're out of the mechanic shop now, and you're back in your own world, and you go on about your business, and you lead your normal life. So it's a very viable process, gift that is very much adjusted to the world. It's not something that takes a lot of time to get there and get a place. For instance, I just show you, if I want to go there, it's like Allah. In the name of Allah, most merciful, most merciful. Say that you will. Do what you're told. Yeah. So it's there it is. Real quick. See how quick that was? Boop, like that. Alright, so you can have that gift. And I'll help you to kind of, get you going in the right direction. Once you get going, you don't necessarily need my help, but most likely you'll have, because everybody in your system, they all get, what is that? And is that real? Is that, your mind, your heart? your feelings, you yourself, to some degree, hopefully not too much, but you wonder what is this? Even though it is, you can feel it. You can feel something. Um, you know, if you're a parent and you see your child for the first time, you know, and or within a day or so, I mean, you're looking at that child and you're going, my God, I can't believe this. What is this? This is amazing. This is wonderful. Well, the gift is like that. You know you can see, you can feel, and you can see by the fruit of it over the many years, um, that it is benign, and it is I don't expect you to believe it, but you'll see it is eventually, if you persist with it, just in a regular way, not some extreme way. Don't be extreme. Just go along, use your common sense, be open-minded, open-hearted. Um, you'll see, it's going to bring you back to being a restored human being. Wouldn't that be terrific? A perfect, to become, go back, go back to God. That's where we want to go back. It's nice, sit on Daddy's lap. I mean, that's the best. It is the best. There's nothing to compare with it here. It just feels better. It's not like a huge cake that you eat, but it's like something that feels. That's when you once you get a whole once you experience that kind of feeling, that's it. You're done. That's what you want. And that's where you go, and that's what you try to. You hope that you can get there. All right. So we've gone over 30 minutes. Just wanna, you know, uh, keep, I got the one song, "Get the Gift." Experience, and if enough people do it, why then mankind will turn in a different direction because it affects, for instance, your character over time. It keeps bringing you to, when you have a chance to do something, your bad character, it kind of nudges you, kind of makes you move, and you like it too. It's not like, okay, do this or else. It's like, um, could you help me get this coat on, Jimmy? Um, well, no, I don't have time for that. What's the matter with you? That's your bad character, see, because the guy's going, let's worship God. That's the content of what he's saying, and you're going like, nah, I don't want to. I'm not going to. I'm rejecting it. But instead of doing that with the gift, you have the gift and you're just open and everything. You say, well, sure, I'll help you with it. And that means, the content of it is, I'm worshiping God too. Let's do it. And then when the two of you worship God together, why you have a nice positive result. And you don't need to confuse yourself trying to think what all these things mean. What does it mean to worship God? Worship is a word that means pay attention to. Don't ignore it, and just let it happen. Um, you know, it's a lot of fun, really. It's a lot of fun. It's a big adventure. It's worthy, certainly worthy. I mean, human being. That's you. In the end, it speaks to you. It will resonate with you. And you go, yeah, this is it. Okay. All right. There'll be more later. I'm going to keep and I'm going to keep going as much as I can. All right. Um, you know, bye bye. Love you.